Jason Gorber, film critic for twitchfilm.com, joins us as always. Jason, good to see you.
Hi, Scott.
Okay, so what kind of effects will a studio be feeling because of the Will Smith movie After Earth?
I don't know. Honestly, this is not a good weekend for movies. I'm glad everybody actually went out to see Fast 6 because, as you know, I really like that film.
I heard.
But honestly, these other two films are terrible. After Earth isn't even fun terrible. It's not fun to talk about terrible. It's just terrible, terrible. M. Night Shyamalan has made a really big splash with Sixth Sense, which I'm one of the few that really didn't like. Then he made Unbreakable, which I really, really didn't like. He's made a bunch of films that have progressively most people haven't really liked. I snuck into this film and I thought, okay, I'll give him another shot. Let's see what's happening. Even the studios are scared of this guy. The director's name doesn't show up on any of the promotional material, but who does show up is Will Smith and his son. This is totally and utterly a vanity project for him and his son. It's a story by Will Smith. It started as a camping story and turned into a weird Lord of the Rings meets some sort of insane sci-fi thing. It is just abysmal. And the fact that it's being slammed by many critics is one thing, but also the audiences are really not enjoying it. It's just a terrible, terrible film.
Yeah, I never thought I'd get to say this on News Channel, but let's take a look at Abysmal.
Sure.
No! Leave them alone!
Okay, Jason, I want to ask you, I don't mean to disparage anybody, but could this be a case of somebody saying, hey, Dad, I want to make a movie?
It's more like, hey, studio, I want to make a movie for my son. Jaden is totally not ready, unfortunately, to have a movie put on his shoulders. And unfortunately, as I like Will Smith in lots of stuff, but in this film, he's a father. The whole point of the film is that the father doesn't feel fear. So you have a non-emoting father who gets, I'm spoiling a little bit, gets injured, and his son goes off on a quest. The two of them are talking via teleconference. It'd be like insane, like I'm in one box and you're in another box and we're talking to each other, except there's no chemistry. So it's a movie like Us, except really, really bad. We're a much better film. We should totally have made a Hollywood film. Absolutely. So you pretend to be Will Smith and I'll be the kid, the really obnoxious kid running off on a quest and being saved by giant eagles.
It'll be
Why
easier
are there
for me,
giant
I'm just
eagles,
saying.
Scott?
It'll be easier for me.
Fair enough.
Is his son a legitimate star in the making, do you think?
He's been in some stuff that's made money, but there's nothing about this film that gives me any confidence that he's anything other than a Hollywood son who's being foisted upon the public because his parents are really rich and powerful.
Okay. Another movie that opened this weekend, Now You See Me, but by the sounds of what some people are saying, it should be Now You Don't See Me.
All right. So it is... Man, this is a great example that it's a film that actually starts really well. You're like, oh, this is going to be great. It's got a great cast. Everything's coming together. What's not to love? A series of magicians pull off a bunch of bank heists. What a great high concept for a film. Good cast, decent direction. And then by the end, it all falls apart. Everything you think could go wrong with this film absolutely does go wrong. So by the end, you're just like, I cannot believe I'm seeing this. And one of the major problems with this is when you have magic in real life, there's a certain suspension of disbelief. But when it's done on film, you're like, wait a minute, you just did that through editing. We're already watching something that's relatively magical in the form of a film. So if you get away with something on stage, oh, he disappeared. You mean he disappeared because you edited it? Yeah, so it's a very, very silly film.
How does a cast like this not work, though? I mean, it's got so many stars in it.
That's a big question that Hollywood answers. Sometimes when you throw a really good cast at a project and the script, I'm telling you, the first probably hour of this film, you're like, I'm really liking this, and then it just falls apart. Maybe a little tweaking, maybe a little editing might have rescued it, but by the end, it just ended up being terrible. After Earth is terrible from about 3 minutes into the film. You're like, I can't believe I have to wait to see this. Now You See Me is like, oh, we might actually have something here, and then nothing. Just garbage.
Maybe a performance we could point to. We only have 30 seconds left here, but any performance that's maybe lifted off the page.
Even Morgan Freeman is horrendous in this, and I've seen him on television talking about it afterwards, and it's like he was reading a completely different script. There's so many better films, little independent films that are out this week. Pieta, After Midnight, Sightseers. go see those. Go see something that's a little bit more independent, and don't worry about the big Hollywood stuff this time. Or if you are, see them all. Go support the local independent cinema as well.
All right, a reminder, people can follow you on Twitter at filmfest_ca. Jason, thanks very much.
Thanks, Scott. To better movies.